Welcome to No. That fucks me up every time. Welcome to No Brainer MMA. What's going on, Dan?
Not much, not much.
How was your week off?
It was nice. I mean, we still had fights, and I still live tweeted during it.
Yeah, that was great. I'm glad you did that, actually.
We're back from our little hiatus.
Yeah, back on the grind. I just want to say that was the first card we missed since the new year, since 2020. So that's pretty good.
Since like December.
You think? Oh, December too? You think? I was looking back. I thought,
whenever we started,
yeah, that was early December. So maybe we're talking like 7 months.
Yeah,
not too shabby. But we're back.
Yeah, we're back, better than ever.
People were like begging us to come back, and we'll answer your prayers.
Last time there was a surreal Gane card, I went 7 of 8 on it. So
he's good luck for Dan.
I shouldn't have said that, but let's get things rolling.
Yeah, let's get rolling.
First fight of the night, we got Yancy Medeiros versus Damir Hadžović. Connor,
Hadžović 2-3 in his last 5, currently on a 2-fight losing streak. This fight actually was supposed to take place a couple of months ago, but I think it got postponed, right?
Yeah, it got postponed for it was like anywhere between like 3 and 5 weeks.
So I think someone just popped for like a positive COVID test or something like that.
Yeah.
Hadžović has an even striking differential, has a higher striking accuracy and striking defense than Yancy. He's prone to getting taken down, but also I don't really see Yancy taking him down in this one and grappling too much. He only averages 0.12 takedowns per fight. Yancy Medeiros is 3-0 since 2018. He's only fought once per year since then too. Most recently coming off a unanimous decision.
Wait,
yeah, Yancy.
He's coming off of 3 straight losses.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, dude. 3 straight losses.
Undefeated.
No, he's only fought once a year since 2018. That's what I said. Not undefeated. He's defeated.
He's
very defeated. He's most recently coming off a unanimous decision loss to Lando Venata, who we just saw make his featherweight debut not too long ago and kill it. He looked better than ever at 145.
Yeah, Lando Venata. What an interesting.
Well, yeah, right. He really adapted though to like become like a really good fighter.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I like it. He's got a great. His fights versus Bobby Green are like so much fun to watch. Both of them, unbelievable fights, especially the first one. That draw. Where was I? Oh, Medeiros, UFC veteran, has been in the UFC since 2013. He's fought in Strikeforce before that, but still only 33 years old. He's pretty young. I think his chin might have given up a little bit. He's been TKO'd in 2 out of his last 3 fights. And even in the last fight, he won 4 fights ago. He was knocked down twice in that one. A fight 4 fights ago. But was able to recover and ended up getting the win.
I'll get into that.
Yeah, I see this fight staying on the feet, and I think that Hadžović will be able to get this one done. But it is a great fight and a very close fight, especially like to start off the night. This is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll just say I'll agree with you, but tentatively, both of these guys are on consecutive losing streaks. Their combined 5-fight losing streak is not great.
That's brutal.
Damir Hadžović coming off of 2 straight losses, and you might think he's like in a younger guy, but he's 34 years old. He's older than Yancy.
Yeah, he's older than Yancy.
He's not young. He's definitely a striker, like we were saying. They're both strikers for the most part.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Yancy's maybe more of the complete mixed martial artist.
He's the veteran.
Yeah, he has the power to finish off opponents as well. Hadžović. Yancy. He's coming off with 3 straight losses, 2 of which were finishes.
That was Joe.
After his win over Cowboy Oliveira, which was considered up there for 2017 Fight of the Year, where they were just beating the shit out of each other, he's kind of fallen off the cliff. Yeah, so it's tough for me to go with him. And not to mention, he got stopped. The two people he got stopped by after the Cowboy Oliveira fight were Cowboy Cerrone back in 2018. So good Cowboy and Gregor Gillespie. So it's hard for me to trust Medeiros. So I'm going to take Hadžović in this one.
Yeah. That Gregor Gillespie fight, he landed one strike.
Yeah.
And was like TKO'd in the second. It was just a bloodbath.
Yeah, we're both going Hadžović.
Ooh.
Next fight, we got Charles Rosa versus Justin Guitar Hero Jaynes. You know I'm never going to go for the Guitar Hero, but...
Dude, he's
an awful nickname.
He's fun to watch.
No, he's not. So Charles Rosa has been quietly fighting in the UFC for 7 years. He's been fighting the UFC since 2014. He never really amassed any name recognition, but always does enough to keep his job, you know? Yeah. He's an ATT product. He mixes things up with takedowns and striking with solid sub defense. Like, for example, Bryce Mitchell couldn't sub him over 3 rounds, which
took him down 7 times.
Yeah, so Bryce Mitchell had him on the ground and couldn't sub him. So he's definitely more well-rounded of the two fighters. Justin Jaynes coming off with 3 straight losses in which he was finished all 3 fights. I believe.
KO.
Yeah, and subbed.
Oh, subbed once? 2 KOs, 1 sub?
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing for Yancy Medeiros in the first fight, and maybe even Hadžović. I think all these guys are fighting for their job right now.
I would agree. It's a lot of losses.
Yeah, I'm going. I can't trust Justin Jaynes. I think he's just like undersized. He's
fighting at 145 now. He's making the drop.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, he's short.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't love this fight, but I'm going to take Rosa with a fairly dominant win.
Yeah, I'm gonna totally agree with you. Charles Rosa, 2-3 in his last 5, wins mostly by submission. Grappling heavy fight style, averages 1.7 takedowns per fight. 32% accuracy, and has a negative striking differential slightly, and only 37% striking accuracy. But he's a gamer. He's very well-rounded, and he knows how to like win fights. He's going to be taking on the Guitar Hero, Justin Jaynes, Dan's favorite, on a 3-fight losing streak. Took his last fight on short notice against Devontae Smith, came in 3 pounds over. And that was for lightweight. That was 155. And he lost. He lost via KO. And he's lost his last 2 fights in a row via KO. He's taken a lot of damage too. He's got a -3 striking differential. He's just kind of like a standing target. He's got very heavy, and he just looks for KOs the whole time. That's why, like I said, he was kind of like a fan favorite, like a fun fight style, but he just doesn't win at all. This fight's taking place at 145. Jaynes is pretty big, and to make that weight cut, I think has got to be tough for him. And I'm gonna take Charles Rosa in this one. I think he's just better wherever the fight goes.
Yeah, I feel that.
Right?
I agree.
Awesome. We're agreeing on the first 2. We're both going Charles Rosa, and that we're going to move right into the next.
We'll agree on the third one, too.
Yeah, Julija versus Julija Stoliarenko.
You want me to take this one, and then you can take the next one? Because I feel like you love Prachnio.
Dude, take it away. I like Ike Villanueva, too. But, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I want to give you the grossest fight of the night. All right, so we got Julija Stoliarenko. She's 2-1 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Sarge Eubanks, which is nothing to hang your head about. She basically got...
You're a big fan
of Sarge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Sarge.
Yeah.
But Julija Stoliarenko got nasty striking. She's got really killer stand up. She knocked out Gina Mazzani in 22 seconds. And you can agree she's a finisher.
Dude, Gina Mazzani goes to decision like every fight. So to knock her out to finish her is like a pretty big deal.
Yeah. She loves throwing the hands and doesn't mind a brawl. But her takedown defense is worrisome. And also has problems getting back up after she gets taken down. When she gets taken down, she kind of just, accepts it. She doesn't try to get back to her feet.
That's the worst thing you can do.
Exactly. But she did fend off the subs from Sijara Eubanks fairly well, who has some great BJJ in her own right, Sijara Eubanks.
Yeah, for sure.
But she has to be drilling defense on the ground for this fight because Julija Stoliarenko is nasty ground fighter. She was part of the Tough 28, but she fought her way back into the UFC. But let's see. I don't know.
What's up?
It says I'm unstable right now, but
oh yeah, you were lagging a little bit, but you're back.
I'm back. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Stoliarenko. She recently came back to make her second coming to the UFC, I guess you would call it. She fought Yana Kunitsuwa, who is a top 5 bantamweight right now, and she got when it came to overall strikes, she got outstruck in that fight by Yana 209-30. Not good. She showed excellent submissions when she was outside of the UFC, but she's been grounded since she's come back to the UFC. It is one fight, but yeah, she wasn't able to do anything on the ground. Yana had her on the ground and just beat on her. Yeah, so I'm going to take the Raging Panda, Julija Stoliarenko, in this fight. I think she might even be able to get the finish.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Dan, 3 times in a row. Julija Stoliarenko, 4-1 her last 5, 2-1 in the UFC, losing her last time out against Sarge Eubanks, like Dan said before. Great striker, wins mostly by KO. She did struggle her last time out against Sarge, like Dan said, again, grappling with her, and it's a little concerning, her ground game.
I thought she had a bad weight cut.
Sarge had 10 minutes of control time at a 15-minute fight. That's huge. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's a lot, man. It is kind of concerning. But Sarge is also elite, I think, at 135. She's taken on Stoliarenko, who's 4-1 in her last 5, 0-2 in the UFC. She was cut, like Dan said, back in 2018, but went on a great run. Granted, a lot of those fights weren't the best competition, but she ended up like fighting some good fighters towards the end. She has a minus 1.8 striking differential over the course of her first 2 UFC fights. Wins mostly by submission, with 9 out of her 10 wins coming by sub. Although she's never landed a takedown in the UFC. I think that Avila takes this one. I just don't know if she hasn't showed anything. So I don't know if Stoliarenko is UFC caliber.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah.
We know Avila is.
Avila, yeah, most certainly is. She's great. So, I'm going to agree with you once again, Dan.
There we go.
Awesome. We're going to move right into the next one. Marcin Prachnio versus Ike Villanueva. Marcin Prachnio, 2-3.
I'm gonna walk out of the room for this one.
2-3 in his last 5 fights. That's so disrespectful. What did Ike Villanueva do to you, Brandon?
I'm actually gonna take a piss. So Connor, take the floor while I take a piss because this fight is gross.
Fuck you. Marcin Prachnio, 2-3 in his last 5 fights, 1-3 in the UFC, losing his first 3 fights by KO, all in round 1, but won his last time out by a huge underdog against Khalil Roundtree, who's really great competition, where Khalil gassed out about halfway through the first. He wins mostly by KO with 10 KO TKOs, but 4 out of his last 5 losses have come by KO as well, really questioning his chin. He's taken on Ike Villanueva, who's 3-2 in his last 5 and 1-2 in the UFC, with his first UFC debut fight coming from heavyweight, and since then's moved down to light heavyweight and's gone 1-1. He has a huge minus 3.3 striking differential. He takes a lot of damage and just kind of counters and gets into these brawls. I think this fight definitely stays on the feet, and if that's the case, I'll take Marcin Prachnio. But I think someone's definitely going to sleep in this fight, so a solid bet might be an under. But yeah, I'm going Prachnio in this one.
It gets finished.
Yeah.
Because I hate just doing the under.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this is the only fight I'll do this for.
Okay.
Stay away from this fight at all costs because both of these guys are as unreliable as it gets. Prachnio had a solid performance against one of the most in his last fight.
Dude, like Khalil Roundtree had 0 cardio. I said before you were in the bathroom, he made it through like half of the first round before he gassed.
And he's incredibly inconsistent. So
yeah, it was terrible. Marcin Prachnio, and Marcin Prachnio had 3 straight first round KO losses before beating Khalil Roundtree. So this fight is so up in the air, it's ridiculous. I would not touch this fight with a 10-foot pole.
Literally word for word is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, so let's just move on right into the next one. We're both
stay away from this one. Both of their chins are too weak to give an adequate prediction.
Yeah. Although I do like Ike Villanueva. I just like his fight style. It's just a lot of fun to watch. He just gets into these brawls and stuff. But I don't see him winning this one. We're both going Marcin Prachnio on that one. We're gonna move right into the next one. Michel Prazeres versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Shavkat Rakhmonov is 1-0 in the UFC and holds a 13-0 record. He's fought a lot of good competition before making his UFC debut in his last time out. He fought an M1. He has a background in combat sambo, and he's finished every single one of his fights, 7 by KO and 6 by sub. He is a huge 170. He's 6'1" with a 77-inch reach, and is going to have an absurd 10-inch reach advantage against Michel Prazeres on Saturday. Prazeres is a second-degree black belt and holds a 26-3 record. He is definitely no slouch at all. He has a 10-3 UFC record. He's a UFC veteran, 4-1 in his last 5. He lost his last time out unanimous decision and hasn't fought since, and that was in February of 2019.
Yeah, but before that, he was on a killer win streak.
I think it was a 7-fight winning streak, if I'm not mistaken. 8-fight winning streak.
With his only loss being to Kevin Lee in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. This guy, he's the real deal. He is, however, 39 years old now, and I think the UFC wants Rakhmonov to get like a huge name on his resume. So I think Rakhmonov takes this one, but just get ready for a crazy submission battle. Both guys are just crazy, unbelievable on the ground, especially off their backs. So, yeah, just get ready for a submission battle.
Yeah. I'm going to take Rakhmonov in this fight, plain and simple, but I think the odds being minus 250 and being plus 200 to Michel Prazeres is kind of insulting because that guy is a beast.
Like, dude, he's a beast.
Wins over Bartosz Fabinski, who we've seen recently, Zach Cummings, Gilbert Burns.
There's better ones. Gilbert Burns, dude. Come on.
I wanted to do that one last. Yeah. He has a win over Anderson Silva, not the Anderson Silva you're thinking of.
You fool.
But yeah, this guy is This guy's gonna be maybe a solid test for Rakhmonov, but if
Rakhmonov has
wants,
championship potential, I think. Where I
yeah,
can't say the same about Prazeres.
he's too old.
Yeah.
So the UFC is using this as a stepping stone. We've seen it backfire before. It very well could happen again. I see this fight as a pick'em, and I'm gonna take Rakhmonov. But this fight is closer than I think people are giving it credit for.
Hell yeah, this is a pick'em fight, man. This is a close fight. But we're both agreeing. We're going 4 fights in a row now that we're agreeing. We're both going Shavkat Rakhmonov. And we're going to move right into the next Raoni Barcelos versus Timur Valiev. And that's all you, Dan.
Yeah. So we watched Timur Valiev come into the UFC. I think we remembered him. My most distinct memory of him is when he got knocked out by Trevin Jones. But he was outlanding him and just being all crazy, and he's a solid prospect, honestly. I really do like Timur Valiev. He's a Russian badass,
Yeah.
Lucky Timur Valiev. Since he bounced back with the win over Martin Day, which we both called back in February.
I just want to say Martin Day, God bless him, but 0-5 in the UFC.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But Timur Valiev is fighting no slouch in this fight. He is fighting Raoni Barcelos, who has just been killing it. He hasn't lost in the UFC yet. He has wins over Chris Gutierrez and Said Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
This guy is a stud. If you want me to read off some of his accomplishments, first of all, he 8 out of his 16 wins are knockouts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He 5-time Brazilian wrestling champion, 2-time South American wrestling champion, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
Okay.
where he got gold in the Brazilian National No-Gi Championship. So this guy's got a killer stand-up and a killer ground game. He has more paths to victory. I do like Valiev as a prospect, but I think Barcelos has more paths to win, and I think he's a little bit too much for him right now.
5 in a row. Dan, I'm totally agreeing with you on this one. Timur Valiev, 1-0 in the UFC, 1 no contest, like Dan said before, losing that 1 no contest to Trevin Giles, where I think he got knocked out, but then popped for weed, which it shouldn't even count. But
he lost that fight. He got knocked out.
Yeah, he got knocked out in that fight. He fights out of Jackson Wink, great striker, some amazing striking defense. He's finally making his bantamweight debut in the UFC after fighting at 140 and 145 in his first 2 fights. But in his pro MMA career, he fought mostly at bantamweight. They
were late notice fights and stuff like that, like the Trevor Jones fight, for example.
Yeah, he's like his natural fighting weight is 135, and I'm glad we're seeing him fight there now. He also averages 2.7 takedowns. He's very well-rounded. He's taken on Raoni Barcelos, who's 5-0 in the UFC, like Dan said, wins mostly by KO. Great striker as well. Mixes up with the takedowns, averages 2.2 per fight. Very similar to Valiev. This fight's going to be great to watch. Potential fight of the night. Very tough call, but I'm agreeing with Dan again on this one. Raoni Barcelos. I think he gets it done.
Yeah. And
great. We're both agreeing. Barcelos.
That'll bring us into the next one. Is it Nicolas, Dalby, and Tim Means for you?
It wasn't, but that one's perfect. I'll do that one. Or you'll do that one, whatever you want to do.
You got it. I'll take the Jai Herbert Renato Moicano.
All right, cool, because I want the Dirty Bird. Tim Means 3-2 in his last 5, winning his last time out against Mike Perry in a fight where he doubled Perry's significant strikes. Literally doubled exactly to the number. I think it was like 64, 128.
Yeah.
He has rejuvenated. He looks great. He's looked like the best he's looked in years, and he's really rejuvenated his career as of recent. He's taken on Nicolas Dalby, who is 3-0 with 2 no contests in his last 5. One fight he failed the drug test, but the other fight was a no contest. I've never seen this before. It was a no contest where the fight was deemed unsafe after Dalby and was fighting this guy Houston, and they both had such bad cuts that the mat got covered in so much blood that the referee deemed it unsafe to fight on.
That's crazy.
Dude, how fucking sick.
Then he signed up for then he got signed to the UFC and beat Cowboy Oliveira in his debut.
Yeah, and then like people are like, okay, this guy, people want to see this guy fight, and yeah, exactly. And he was cut back in 2016, went 3-1 in Cage Warriors, and then got re-signed, just like you said. Most recently coming off a close win over Daniel Rodriguez. I thought Daniel Rodriguez won that fight. You watched that fight, didn't you, Dan?
The Daniel Rodriguez was. I thought that Dalby won that fight for sure.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, I thought Daniel Rodriguez got. I thought it was decision fight, but I thought Daniel Rodriguez got that.
He fought Darren Till to a draw.
Yeah, I did see that. That's pretty wild too. That one. What year was that? 2017.
2015.
Oh God, 2015. Christ Almighty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. I don't even.
That's not that. Yeah, we can't even.
Yeah. This fight.
Cage Warriors hair though.
Yeah, he did. This fight's very close. I think it's staying on the feet in my opinion. Means has the volume advantage for sure, and since both guys love to go to decision a lot, I think Means just outpoints Dalby in this one, takes him to a nice decision victory.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna take Dalby. I think he's one of the best underdog picks on this fight card, to be honest. Yeah, I like his style on the feet too. So I'll take Dalby. I'm willing to. Everything you said makes sense, obviously, but I think that Dalby has what it takes to pull it off.
All right, so we're gonna disagree on that one. I'm gonna go Tim Means. You're gonna go Nicolas Dalby.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We're gonna move right into the next one: Renato Moicano versus Jai Herbert. Take it away, man.
So we got Renato Moicano versus Jai Herbert. Jai Herbert, you probably remember him making his UFC debut, and Dan Hardy getting really, really mad at fucking Herb Dean because Herb Dean didn't stop the fight quick enough.
That's why he got fired.
What?
That's basically why he got fired. Also, he yelled at like someone like behind the scenes.
Oh, he got fired?
Oh, dude, yeah, he got let go, and then he had one fight left on his contract, and they let it go too.
Dan Hardy?
Dan Hardy, bro. It was because of that. I
mean, he wasn't gonna fight, but
no, but he wanted to fight. He had one fight left on that contract, and he asked for it to be like taken away, and the UFC granted it. And yeah, he was like he yelled at like some lady behind the scenes, and like really lost his cool. And then like the UFC was just like, "All right, man, you're done." Too many like outbursts.
Damn.
But I really liked him as a commentator.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah. Anyway, Jai Herbert was a very, very touted prospect coming into the UFC before getting hit by that left hand by Trinaldo. That fight was pretty even so before Trinaldo landed that shot. And we all know Francisco Trinaldo is ageless and no joke.
Yeah, so 43. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Renato Moicano, on the other hand, he's a pretty strong favorite in this fight. But what worries me is that he's lost 3 of his last 4, with his only win being over Damir Hadžović. Shout out to, or he subbed him in 44 seconds. But Yeah, he got knocked out by Jose Aldo,
Dude, all heavy hitters.
the
Very
Korean Zombie, and Rafael Fazio. But he also has a win over Cub Swanson and Calvin Cater. So
dude, excuse me.
This guy's a beast.
Everyone's gonna get knocked out by those three guys. Are you kidding me? They got some heavy hands.
Yeah. But this is maybe my most ridiculous prediction of the night.
Don't tell me.
Okay, so Moicano, he's obviously a solid striker. He likes to take down, but he definitely has a very questionable chin. But the competition was incredible, so take it with a grain of salt.
Exactly.
Jai Herbert really had success before coming into the UFC, and he's a solid stand-up fighter, technical in his striking, and was knocking everybody out in Cage Warriors. So I'm going with the underdog pick right here. Call me fucking crazy. I'm not locking it by any means or nothing, but I'm liking the Herbert underdog pick in this one. You can't really trust Moicano's chin. It's a ballsy bet, but yeah, I say you take Herbert or don't bet at all because Moicano's like a minus 250 favorite.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Renato Moicano, 2-3 in his last 5, losing all 3 by KO, like Dan said. Some of the best competition at 145. And he won his last 2 fights via submission. Recently moved up to lightweight. I think he looks much better there at 155. He's a BJJ black belt, BJJ in Muay Thai, punches very awkward angles. It's tough to see. It's very hard to fight him on the feet, and definitely hold his own both on the feet and on the ground. He's taken on Jai Herbert, who lost his UFC debut against Francisco Trinaldo, like Dan said, 43-year-old, but he'll fight till he's 50.
Look at him. Just look at him.
both of his pro Herbert's I'm talking about, both of his pro MMA losses have come by KO as well. He wins mostly by KO TKO, 8 out of his 10 wins coming by that. He has a 5-inch reach advantage in this fight too. Moicano's chin, it is questionable, but I honestly, in my opinion, it's not really that questionable because he is fighting crazy hard hitters and great elite top 10 competition we're talking about. Possibly, and some of them top 5 competition.
Zombie top 5.
Rafael Fazio, huge prospect, heavy hitter, and Jose Aldo, he's still can knock at anyone at 145. So I'm gonna go with Moicano in this one. I can't not. I think he's gonna bounce back.
Yeah. I just have an upset feeling on that fight.
Oh, dude, I'm a huge Moicano fan. Honestly, I really would like to see him get this win here. But that's cool. We're disagreeing with that one. Dan's going Jai Herbert. I'm going Renato Moicano.
I'm not expecting you to agree with my underdog pick right there.
No, it's all good. I do some more crazy than that underdog picks. So next fight, I think is Andre Fili versus Daniel Pineda.
Yes, sir.
Oh, am I taking this one?
Yes, sir.
All right, this fight's a little strange too. Andre Touchy Fili, 3-2 in his last 5. He's a stand-up fighter, 9 wins by KO TKO, and also 9 decision wins. Very entertaining fighter. I think he's also another one of those fan favorites. That's why I said this card is so good, because there's a lot of fun fight styles on this card. He's got an even striking differential, averages 2.5 takedowns per fight at 50% accuracy. He's taken on Daniel Pineda, who is 2-1 and 2 no contests in his last 5. And those 2 no contests, he were dominating wins in the PFL, where he got 1 KO, 1 sub, but he popped for steroids after. I think both fights, if I'm not mistaken, was in the same tournament.
Yeah, he got starched by Cub Swanson in his last.
Oh, he did. But Cub Swanson too is dude, the volume of what Cub Swanson is putting out nowadays is insane. He just mastered it at I don't know, I think he's 37, 38 years old. He's getting up there. And that's what he's coming off. He's most recently coming off that KO loss from Cub Swanson. This stat is the most ridiculous of them all. All 27 of Daniel Pineda's pro MMA wins have been by finish. He has 18 submissions and then 9 KOs.
Yeah.
Bryce Mitchell was able to take down Fili 7 times in his last time out. But before that, Fili wasn't taken down in his last 5 fights and led in 10 takedowns on his opponents. I think Fili is able to get the win here, but I see this one going to decision, so you never know. But yeah, I'm going Andre Fili in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to 100% agree with you. Pineda in the UFC, it's not a large body of work, but so far since he's hit the big show in the UFC, he's 1-1 with his one win being over Herbert Burns, who basically gassed himself out and looked awful in that fight. So, like, I take that win with a grain of salt, to be completely honest. He basically finished it after that. Then he got some momentum behind him, and that all got starched by Cub Swanson. So I think Andre Touchy Fili just gets it done. I think he can knock him out too.
Oh, really? You think he finishes it?
There's a chance.
If it's 2.5 rounds, will you take the under or the over?
I like taking fight goes the distance, fight doesn't go the distance. I like taking no or yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're both agreeing we're going Andre Touchy Fili. We're gonna move right into the next one. Wait, is the next one Danilo Marques versus Kennedy Nzechukwu?
Yeah, we're almost done.
Oh wow, I'm gonna take this one if that's cool with you, Dan.
You want me to take the last two?
I want you to take the last two.
All right.
Because I want to talk about Danilo Marques. Danilo Marques 4-1 in his last 5. He was actually in the conversation for one of those guys I wanted on my prospect list, but he was a little too old. He's 35 years old. He's now just made his UFC debut in 2020 and has since gone 2-0 in the UFC with 2 very dominating wins, averaging 4.8 takedowns per fight, 88% striking accuracy, and 50% striking defense. He's taken on Kennedy Nzechukwu, 4-1 in his last 5, with most of his wins coming by KO TKO.
And that crazy knockout over Carlos Ulberg.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere. In his 9-fight MMA, he has he only has a 9-fight MMA career. He's 8-1, so he's still pretty green. He's a stand-up.
80-inch reach.
What'd you say? 80.
I love his reach.
How much does I think Danilo Marques has something similar though in this one?
77.
Oh, okay. No, that's pretty different.
5.5, 6-inch reach advantage.
Yeah, that's good.
Significant, but it seems like Nzechukwu doesn't know how to use his reach just yet.
Yeah, Nzechukwu is a stand-up fighter. Hasn't landed a single takedown in his 5-fight UFC career. Slightly negative striking differential, 78% takedown defense. He's getting outstruck bad in his last time out, like Dan said, and
that skewed the stats.
Yeah, Charles Ulberg doubled his significant strikes basically.
Yeah, but Nzechukwu can hit him pretty damn hard.
He hit him hard. Yeah, dude, he won. Nzechukwu won. Nzechukwu was taken down 4 times and was outstruck against Darko Stosic. And Marques, I think, is a much better grappler than Darko Stosic. So I think Marques is able to take this one. And I think very highly of him. So I don't know. I don't know about the odds on it. Is this an underdog, Dan? Do you know?
No, because I think that Ed Herman was supposed to fight Danilo Marques.
Oh, so it's late notice.
Ed Herman pulled out 6 days ago.
Oh shit, yeah.
So Nchukwu's taking this fight on a couple days' notice, like week maybe
2 weeks, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Shit. But yeah, I'm going. I would stay away from this fight. I think there's a chance that Nzechukwu can finish him. He is training out of Fortis MMA, which is
I love Fortis, dude.
Yes, Saud, like it's great. Did you know Darren Williams is the owner of that gym?
What? Oh, Darren Williams, the Nets. Darren Williams of the Nets and the Brooklyn and the fucking New Jersey Nets. God bless. Really? What does he know?
What?
What the fuck does he know?
I don't know. He opened up an MMA gym, and
it's working.
I mean,
does he fight?
Alex Morano? He's got Ryan Spann, Diego Ferreira, Damon Jackson, Jeff Neal.
It's just weird. I didn't know he was a UFC guy. I mean, like a MMA dude. I don't know.
Maybe he's just a huge fan. I don't know. But I'm going to take Kennedy in this fight. I might end up regretting it.
How dare you?
I'm taking him. I love his reach. I think I've said the African takeover so many times. I got to ride with the African savage in this one.
It is a close fight. I will give you that. We're going to disagree on this one.
Go one of two ways.
Yeah, exactly. And we said each. I'm going to go Danilo Marques. Dan's going to go Kennedy NZECHUKWU. And we're going to move right into the co-main event. OSP, Ovince St. Preux versus Tanner Boser. Dan, take it away.
All right. So Tanner Boser just stepped up on this fight, short notice.
Talk about how much you hate Tanner Boser.
Tanner Boser, I was really big on for a while. I was a fan.
I think he just lost you like 2 bets in his last 2 fights in a row, and you just got.
I can't get Tanner Boser picks right. That's my problem. He had this like crazy like lateral movement, throwing bombs, and he's just like gone away from that. It happened during the Arlovsky fight. He just didn't have any output whatsoever, and I was really disappointed by that because I was like, this guy could be like a stud, and
he is, dude.
Did nothing but disappoint me. Then he lost to Latifi, and the Latifi loss was this month. It was only 15 days ago.
Yeah, he's gonna be fighting 3 weeks since his last fight. 21 days.
Yeah. So he's making a really quick turnaround.
Which is good.
He's coming off of that TKO to Jamal Hill. But before that, he knocked out Alonzo Menafield. This is a heavyweight fight. Since OSP isn't cutting any weight now, I think that might give him more.
Tanner Boser doesn't cut any weight either, man.
I know, but he was preparing to cut weight. Now he could, kind of like.
He doesn't cut weight. He weighs in at like 240 every time. No weight cut.
I'm saying OSP.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know what
it's supposed to be a light heavyweight fight.
Yeah, but it's heavyweight, isn't it?
Yeah, it got turned into a heavyweight.
Yeah, fight. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, so you're saying Tanner Boser is going to be like a little bit lower than normal.
I'm saying OSP might be a little lower than normal, but now he's just probably not eating like shit, but he's definitely eating,
But Tanner Boser definitely has the advantage weight-wise, dude. I think this is easy for Tanner. This is a great bounce-back fight for Tanner Boser right here.
I thought the Ilir Latifi was.
No, Latifi is an unbelievable grappler, man. He almost beat Derek Lewis in that fight. You know it.
Yeah, but that was when Derek Lewis didn't train.
Oh, no, it was recent. It was very.
Boser's taking this on such short notice. OSP is technically taking it on short notice too, but I'm gonna take OSP in this fight. He's just got such a. He's got such a diverse game. He can do everything. The Von Flue choke, for example. They're talking like, honestly, they should rename the Von Flue choke to the OSP choke. He uses that.
The St. Preux choke.
What'd I say?
The OSP choke.
The St. Preux choke. Yeah, that sounds better.
The Von St. Preux choke. That's what they say, at least on the thing.
I don't know. I call it the OSP choke. But I should that does sound better. Same Pru choke. But yeah, obviously OSP has a great resume. Wins over to Corey Anderson, Yushin Okami. Like, he's fought the best of the best. He's fought John Jones. He's gone the distance with John Jones. He's gone the distance with Dom Reyes. He
Yeah.
just he's still got it, man. So I'm gonna take OSP. Retirement is near, but I think he gets it done over Tanner, the bulldozer. BOSER. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah,
He's lost me so much money that I hate him.
His last two fights very close.
Watch him win this fight now. I can't get it.
You'll hate him. You'll hate him even more.
I'll hate him even more if he wins.
OSP 2-3 in his last 5, losing by KO in his last time out by Jamal Hill, like Dan said. Looks a bit slow lately, like Dan said. Also, like he might be around retirement. He's 38 years old. He missed weight his last time out by 1.5 pounds. He might have a little extra motivation for this fight because it might be like a make it or break it type moment for him. And he's going to have a 4.5 reach advantage. He's taken on Tanner BOSER, 2-3 in his last 5. Currently on a 2-fight losing streak, but I think in 2 very close decision losses. Very close, like basically pick'ems.
But to guys who like the UFC set him up to win against.
But Andrei Arlovsky also is a dude that just keeps winning. He's just like he's a gamer. He just keeps getting these.
Tom Aspinall.
Well, Tom Aspinall is just like fucking insane.
Yeah, but we're getting off topic.
A little. No, not really.
I just hate Tanner BOSER with a passion.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Tanner BOSER didn't get at least 1 win in those 2 fights. Honestly, he's outstruck.
I think he lost both of them.
He's outstruck 5 of his 6 opponents in the UFC. In his last 6 opponents. 60% takedown defense. OSP hasn't landed a takedown in 3 fights. So I see this staying on the feet for the most part. BOSER getting the better of a decision, possibly. Not to mention, like Dan said before again, but this fight is taking place at heavyweight. Tanner BOSER is a natural heavyweight. He goes in, doesn't cut any weight. He's around like 135 pounds. And I think that the bigger guy just usually wins. So I'm going to go with Tanner BOSER in this one.
The bigger guy, Stipe weighed in at 235. Cardio Kane was 240,
That's true. But those guys are 1 in 100,000, very few. So
they are the champs.
Yeah, if you can master it, then yeah, for sure. That's the best way to do it. But it's very hard. A lot of punching power.
Yeah.
A lot of just like pushing you. Like weight difference can be very tough. And I think OSP is about done.
Ooh.
Hasn't really looked good.
He hasn't. That's what's worrying me about my pick in this fight. But
yeah, whatever.
That'll bring us to our main event.
Yes.
Where we got Ciryl Gane versus Drago Alexander Volkov in what is probably the most technical like if you want to get super technical in striking in the heavyweight division, this is the fight to make, and they made it.
It's one of it, honestly, they might have 2 of the best technical. These are the 2 best technical strikers, I think, probably in the heavyweight division. We don't know what John Jones looks like right now, but these 2 guys, get ready for like a Muay Thai battle.
Yeah. I'm going to go edge Gane. I've been big on Gane for a while now. If you guys have been following the channel, I have taken Gane every single time. He has yet to let me down. I get it. He's only got 8 fights compared to Volkov's 41. So experience definitely plays a factor in this fight. The only thing that worries me is the takedown coming from Volkov. But even that doesn't worry me that much. Volkov He's huge though. He's 6'7" and he weighs in at like 264, 265. Ciryl Gane, he's also enormous. He's not 6'7", but he's 6'4". He's 6'4". I don't know how tall he really is because they listed him and Rosenstrike at 6'4", and he towered over Rosenstrike and just picked him apart.
Yeah, Rosenstrike looked small too in his last time out at the stare down.
Yeah. So I got Bone Gamin in this one. I love how he loves the heel hooks. Imagine he heel hooks Volkov. That'd be crazy. Keep in mind his 7th win in the UFC was over, or his 7th win in MMA was over Junior Dos Santos, who is an absolute legend. And you know what? He rocked him with just a straight jab. It wasn't a super power jab or nothing. Straight jab. This guy's got some nice power. In his last fight, Rosenstrike was just waiting to counter, so he basically pulled an Izzy and just picked them apart for the entire time. He's like, if you don't want to engage, I'll just pick you apart. So he just jabbed him, and kicked him to death. It's going to be a lot of jabs and a lot of leg kicks in this fight, but I think Ciryl Gane comes out on top. I think this fight will be more exciting than the Rosenstrike fight.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dan, totally. Ciryl Gane, 8-0 in his MMA career, 5-0 in the UFC, 2 KOs, 2 subs. And not really, he has a Muay Thai background, but nothing extensive. He has a plus 3.2 striking differential, 69% striking defense, 55% striking accuracy, not to mention 100% takedown defense. He's yet to be taken down in the UFC. He's taken on Alexander Volkov, UFC veteran, 3-2 in his last 5, only losing to Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades. I think like the best wrestler and like one of the hardest hitter or one of.
And he was beating Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
You know, Derek Lewis had a Hail Mary right hand that knocked him out.
Totally. 4 of his 5 of his last wins have come by KO, TKO. He's got a plus 2.4 striking differential. This fight, I think, is for sure staying on the feet unless like someone gets rocked. This is
Ciryl Gane might take him down. Ciryl Gane mixes in the takedowns a little bit.
You think so? I think this is just like a super technical fight, staying on the feet, crazy.
If it goes 25 minutes, we might see 4 minutes of clinch work, 3 minutes on the ground, and the rest on the feet.
Yeah, so. Just a ton of striking on the feet, which I can't wait, especially for heavyweights. That's fun to watch. This is Gane's biggest test yet, for sure. I think that Gane is just too much of a high-level striker, and I think he's able to take this one. I agree with you, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, it's sketchy because Volkov does have so much experience.
Yeah, I think people are just like counting him out as like the old guy. He's not that old. They're very similar ages. He does have a lot of fights, so his chin might be questionable, but he's still like he doesn't get hit a lot. You know, he really is good with that. He tries not to take that much damage.
Yeah, I don't think he's old. He's only 32.
No, he just has he's one of those guys that's young and has a ton of experience. He's just been around forever, so he might seem old to people, but it's just because like he's fought 40 times.
Yeah. But yeah, Bone Gamin.
Yeah, Ciryl Gane, but don't count out Alexander Volkov. And we're both going to agree. We're both going to go Ciryl Gane, and that's it, Dan.
We're ballsy over here. We make the picks that we genuinely think will happen, you know?
Yeah, we're fucking
not 100%, but we're better than most. We're tallying. Oh, I'm saying it now, so we do it for next week's video. What? We're tallying up every single one of our fights this year, and we're both going to have in our description what our records are.
That's perfect. We need to do that because it is. We've been doing this for over half. Over half a year. 7 months.
We'll go year by year. So 2021. We'll go through the last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
a fine tooth comb
Yes.
every single fight.
Fine tooth comb.
There's some fights that I would just discredit immediately, like the Aljamain Sterling fight. Just throw that fight out the window. I'm not even counting that.
No, you gotta count it, but it's tough to like a lot of fights got canceled last minute, and a lot of fights got other opponents. So it's really you got to go through each one and like figure out like, okay, is this actually happened? Who won? And it is actually a lot of work. I did it at one point, but that was months ago.
Yeah, I think we both like. I mean, I think we both do our own.
We should, because it's too much work.
Kind of remember who we took ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. But, that's much easier.
Yeah. Now we're just rambling.
Yeah, we're going on, Dan. We got to watch some playoff basketball. So let's get out of here.
Yeah, I hope you guys like my. I woke up at like 5 a.m. and
I saw that.
I was just like, I feel bad for CP3, so I tweeted about it.
I was like, I got that like Snapchat from Dan at like 5:45. I'm like, is Dan going to sleep or is Dan waking up right now?
It really could be one.
I'm glad you were waking up. So that's good. All right, Dan. We'll be back next week. No more breaks. No taking off.
No more breaks. We'll be here.
No days off.
Have 1 week off the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's it. If that.
And those are the weeks that the UFC doesn't have fights.
Yeah, that's fucking badass of you to say. We're out of here.
Yeah. Like and sub.